Hello, my gorgeous souls. Thank you so much for choosing to connect with me today to come here and share space over this pick a card reading. It is a very unique one, so if this is your first time here especially, then welcome. This is going to be hopefully a reading that everyone will really enjoy and get a lot of benefit and value from. So I'm recording this in the month of October. And at the time of recording this, we are almost upon a very popular holiday in certain parts of the world during this month. And in general, I think this month kind of lends to it, um, a reputation of being one in which, there's a lot of focus on spirit energy. One would say perhaps that the veil is thinner or thinnest during this time of the year in which we can connect with spirit energy. I would like to think that perhaps our resistance is just lessened due to the time of year that it is and the surrounding events, that our receptivity is greater to be able to connect with that energy. Whatever belief system you choose to ascribe to, this is going to be a reading that is going to be in a mediumistic ship style. And what that means is I'm going to be using the cards today to directly channel insights, messages of love from a passed on loved one or spiritual energy. So if you don't have someone who has passed away, no worries, because this is also going to be just a general time for your guides, whatever spiritual, again, beliefs that you hold dear to you, for that energy in particular to come through to you and just give you messages and words of wisdom through the cards, through this reading today. So we have 4 piles as well. I've decided to do 4 today. For pile 1, you're going to choose your message by whichever card you are drawn to. For pile 1, we have held. It says, sureness of the soil, unseen help, support, and community. For my pile 2s, plant yourself here. And it says, integration, embodiment, and grounded action. For pile 3, we have the grandmothers. So take that if that resonates and if that's a sign for you to choose this pile. I think that was kind of funny how that came out. Remember your roots, perspective, and trust the weavings. And for my bonus pile today, added a pile 4. Pile 4 is going to be the reunion. Oop, there we go. Soul recognition, collaboration, partnership, and friendship. So once again, we're doing mediumistic style reading featuring mediumship, channeling insights, messages from passed on loved ones or spirit energy, whichever you're intending for this reading. 4 piles, no crystals today. You will select your message based upon whichever cover card you are most drawn to. Once again, held, plant yourself here, the grandmothers, or the reunion. Go ahead, select whichever pile is calling you in, and I will meet you over there momentarily so we can get started on getting messages for you from the spirit realm. My pile 1s, so happy to have you here today. You were drawn to and chose the held card. So this is sureness of the soil, unseen help, support, and community. Before we even get started, I can already say that the message, generally speaking, tied to the energy of this particular card is one of support and of encouragement and of definitely having a very strong connection to source energy or spirit energy, and having access to that wisdom, to that support at any given time, whether you're feeling that deeply or not at this moment. Pile 1, this is definitely I think a nod for you, a sign for you that you really do have access to all of that spiritual help whenever needed. So we're going to be doing, again, as I've said from the intro, a mediumistic style reading today in honor of the month of October in which this reading is first being recorded. It is timeless though, so if you're catching it at any other time of the year, trust if it's something that has drawn you in, that you have stumbled upon, it is meant for you at whatever time you're finding it. We're going to be channeling some messages today from spirit energy. So that could mean several things for you. If you have a passed on loved one, we could be you could be intending to bring that person forth and have messages shared directly from them. If you do not have anyone who has passed away, you could also just be intending that you'd like some messages directly from your spirit guides, or whatever spiritual belief that you hold as true for you. That energy, the energy of whatever being that is for you, messages from the light, essentially from source, from the spirit realm. We're going to start by getting a general message of love from them. We're also going to be getting some light and shadow messages. So that will be some very encouraging messages, perhaps about things going on in your life right now, whatever they'd like you to most know. The shadow messages, I'm kind of, I think what we're going to do with the shadow messages is just have that be areas where it's maybe highlighting something for you that is in the shadows, right? That's hidden, that maybe you're not paying attention to, that they would like to just kind of, from their perspective, bring forth to your attention. And then we're also going to go ahead and close off with some guidance for you from them and some closing messages. But lots of oracle today, only 2 different tarot decks, a light and a shadow. But let's get started. I'm very excited to see how this reading is going to go. I actually have mediumship cards, like oracle cards, but I'm not deciding to use those today. I want to just see with the tarot and these other message cards, how things are going to go. But I'm excited. If you have never been at my channel before, I do pick a card readings of all kinds. I'm mostly focused on love energy, that is romantic love, but I also do messages similar to this, which are messages from spirit, general guidance for life. It's all focused on this idea of high vibrational living. So it just felt like a natural, I guess, sort of a direction to take, to then extend this to reaching out to past on loved ones to get their perspective and their words of wisdom, their insights and messages for my viewers. I actually did a very abridged and shortened version of this type of reading for another platform that I'm a part of, and people loved it. So I was like very inspired. I thought to myself, why not just do a full reading today? I think that would be a really nice thing for a lot of people. I think a lot of people are definitely looking for, perhaps some deeper sense of connection during this time of the year. So it felt right, and I'm just going to go with it and see what happens. With that said, as well, I have done mediumship privately for clients. Haven't really done that ever before here in this setting. This is a general collective reading. It is also of a very sensitive nature and topic. So if it doesn't resonate for you or feel good to you, I just kindly respect that and honor that, and ask that you just choose to navigate away from the video. Don't continue to listen to something or take something in and expose your energy to it if it's not aligning with you at this time. It's my belief that there's always a reason why we come across a certain video. There may be just one sentence of what the reader says in there that can resonate for you. But of course, we always want things to feel good. And if for some reason they don't feel good, pay attention to your emotions and just choose not to engage. But with that said, also, my intent is always to just bring forth light, messages of love and light and clarity, abundance, and, positivity. So hopefully that's what you get out of this reading today, pile 1. As I'm shuffling as well, I always, again, as I said in the intro and in every video, I like you to set your intention for this reading. So if there is a particular person that you would like to hear from, then please ask for that. Ask that of spirit, that you have whatever individual that is come through for you. If there is nobody in particular, then intend that you just are open and receptive to whatever messages come forth from wherever they need to. Select a sign if you feel called to do so. And let's begin. So first, let's get a general message of guidance and love from pile 1's spirit energy of choice. So we have the Wheel of Fortune coming out first. The 6 of Cups. Okay, so I'm going to just say right off the bat, again, this is a very sensitive subject, so trigger warning, just be very, very mindful in watching this reading. But I'm going to say that the majority of you who are watching this pile, this is not feeling like strictly spirit energy to me. This is feeling like somebody who was previously incarnated in life, someone from your past For some of you, it could also actually be a child. If it's not a child or somebody from your past, then it is someone that you felt was a soul-based connection. There's kind of several different, you know, I guess, possibilities here. Because again, this is general, but we're trying to come, have a lot of spirit energy come through for a message. So if it resonates for you, there's a strong soul tie here, regardless of who it is. It could be a parent or child, because we have this childlike energy with the Six of Cups. It also could be a romantic interest from your past that was a soul-based connection. The Knight of Cups, again, someone passed on. And if it's neither of those things, it's certainly somebody from your past coming through for you. I do definitely think it's somebody who you're related to. We have the Ten of Cups coming out here, which is the card of family to me, the happy family, just general, happiness, contentment, and abundance wrapped up in that card. The message here is that just because there's been a change in the energy, so that would be for me to say, just because this person has passed on, it doesn't mean that they're not still here and supporting you, just as they always have in the past when they were alive, when they were in your life more actively in a physical form. And it's funny because we do have that held card, which is about support and community. So I think this person is wanting to share with you that they are always with you. They're always extending out that cup of love, or they're always still kind of intending to provide you with that love and care and support. That energy is still always being directed at you, and they're so happy, to be able to be there for you in that way. I do think that there's also a slight nod coming in about if you, let's say, there's so many scenarios, but if you've moved on, maybe from a love interest, or if this is a family tie, as I said, I feel strongly that there's some element of family to this. They see that you're happy. They see that you're happy. You don't have to feel bad about that in any way, shape, or form. I don't know why you would, but in case you do, the message there is that, it's okay to really revel in your happiness, in your Ten of Cups moment. And if you have actually, established a family, which is another message coming in, if you've actually gone on to have children or other children, or expanded your family, married someone, just expanded your life. If your life is up-leveled in some sort of a way, in a big way regarding family, this person is definitely in support of that energy as well, and is so happy for you and loves seeing the joy that brings you. Now, what's also really interesting, pile one, about this particular reading is every night when I go to sleep, I take off my ring. I wear this ring every single day. This is my birthstone, by the way. It's Alexandrite, because I'm a Cancer, June. And then every morning I put it on, and I'm doing this reading kind of in the morning, and I'm doing this reading and I'm like, something just feels off. And what feels off is I didn't have my ring. So I definitely think there's like some type of a family bond, or some type of it could be for some of you like a spouse that passed away. So some widows or widowers watching, but there's just some connection to a ring with this particular pile. And the concept of also like eternity with the circle, right? It never ends. So if that's relevant to you, if you've recently taken off a ring, maybe of somebody that you used to be with that has passed away, that's okay. But if you also feel like putting it back on, go ahead, put it back on, whatever the case. There's a strong energy of just family and love, but like a very pure love at this point. There's so much just encouragement and, again, support and really genuine unconditional love coming from this energy of this particular person, or whatever energy you've asked and called in. So I want to get a few oracle cards. What does this person want to say to pile one? Their messages of love and encouragement. What would they like to say? I've already brought in something so beautiful. We have tsunami, leadership, and worthy. So tsunami to me is always a card of emotional overwhelm. This is to say, with leadership, I think this is an energy that both the passed on individual embodied, and also one that you're kind of taking on, a role that you've assimilated or assumed in your life. But you feel unstable in that energy. So again, the strong energy of like a widower type of a an energy is coming through for me of somebody maybe who's having to move forward after a spouse has passed on, or just a very significant kind of a head of a family type energy, them having passed away and now you continuing on and sort of rebalancing and coming to a place in your life where you're feeling more secure about taking on a more direct role. Perhaps you hadn't had to do that in the past, but you're definitely worthy of this. You're doing a great job. Again, they're seeing the command of the family, the family unit that's been built up or that is very stable. Tens in tarot are very stable energies. They're energies of just fulfillment, completion. Tens are ends of cycles in tarot. And I definitely just see that 10 of Cups as acknowledgement of a very stable family life. So whatever life you've created for yourself that you're commanding and at the head of at this point, pile one, the person coming through, the energy coming through is definitely acknowledging just how hard you've worked and how amazing of a job you're doing. So I think that's a great, great message. Really, really special, especially if that's something that you've been wondering. You know, often when people pass away, then we could, you know, life goes on for us, but we wonder to ourselves, you know, would they be proud of us? Would they be approving of the type of decisions we've made or the choices, you know, where life has led us and how we're living now? And I think that's absolutely the case with this energy. So let's get some messages of light now. I don't know what this is going to be. I'm just messages of light and shadow. So we're going to start with the light messages from this energy that you've called in, pile one. And let's just see what comes through. So we have the Lovers. That is beautiful. We also have the Nine of Pentacles. Oh my goodness. So beautiful already. The Eight of Cups. And the Four of Wands. So again, there's ties to family. There's ties to a spiritual relationship, a spiritual bond, to harmony and joy and celebration and happiness. Now the Lovers is coming through, and the Lovers to me is definitely more of a love-like energy. Again, associated with perhaps a passed on partner or someone very near and dear to the family, but perhaps more with romantic interest or romantic angle to it. We also have the Nine of Pentacles, though, and we have the Eight of Cups. These are both very self-focused energies for me. The nines in tarot always represent the concept of self. So self-introspection, self-reflection, independence, self-focus, and fulfillment. The Nine of Pentacles is about self-sufficiency in a material sense or in balancing out the kind of more material 3D aspects of our lives. And the Eight of Cups is going to represent emotional energy, being cups or water energy. Eights in tarot represent the concept of infinity, about something long-lasting, the longevity of it, and also an inward journey with specific energy of the Eight of Cups. So for me, this is saying that there has been so much progress and growth from you, pile one, in your life, you know, and through, I think, this relationship that you guys had together, and they just want to kind of provide a lasting message for you of how much that's impacted them in life, and they know how much it's impacted you as well. There's a very strong sort of an energy coming in of like, this love never ends, this love never dies. Like fours in tarot are about stability, eights are about infinity, and the Lovers, of course, is just a beautiful, loving, spiritual energy. So there's a very just strong message here of like the love always lives and resides within you, right? It still is carried on through you with this Nine of Pentacles energy, but also just how far you've come since perhaps you've had to have a big shakeup and a change in life. Remember how we had the Wheel of Fortune energy come out first with that shifting energy. And this is saying, you know, the journey you've been on since, you've really built up a beautiful life. You're stabilizing, you're doing well. And again, there's just so much love here and so much encouragement and empowerment for you at how you have built your life or rebuilt your life, but also wanting you to know at the same time that the love between you or the love for you never dies. Let's go ahead and ask for a shadow message now. This is going to be using the other, so for the light message, we use the Lucine Tarot, the Twilight edition, which is the lighter version. It's beautiful. And now for the shadow messages, we're going to use the Midnight edition. So it's just a deeper tone, deeper version of the same deck. What is the shadow message for pile one, please? We have Death. Hopefully you can see that. We have Death. and the King of Cups. So more nods for me, definitely significators of a passed on spouse for a lot of you. The Three of Cups and the Seven of Wands. Okay. Death is the main energy to me that's standing out. Of course, it's a major arcana. It's very relevant and kind of almost a little bit ironic coming out in a reading of this kind. But death represents not only death and endings, but rebirths and new beginnings. And so again, there's this concept and this idea here about moving forward and continuing to rebuild or rebirth yourself after a loss, after a time of perhaps something ending, perhaps permanently, such as a death. Not often do I read death as actual death, but in this sense, I am going to read it that way. And I could see here that it could be the death of a loved one, as in a spouse, but it also references for me that after death, that there is a desire for you to have happiness again in love. And for some of you, you may have done this and they're encouraging of that, but for others of you, this shadow message is specifically pertaining to the fact that you haven't, and that there's a resistance to that. They want to ease your mind about this. So if there's any sort of reservation or hesitation about moving forward and getting another partner, a King of Cups energy, or sharing your life with others, getting back out into the community. Again, we have the card of support and community coming out. They're asking you to release the resistance surrounding that and to get yourself back out into the world, to once again feel supported and encouraged and inspired and uplifted by those around you, by your community, by the connections that you're going to build with others. If that's something that you've just not felt like doing or have been resistant to, the again message is just that they would like to hopefully guide you towards making those choices, those healthy decisions to continue to move forward in the future. So some final guidance for you now, some final messages from your person. Pile 1. Creator Air. What do you really want? And you are living poetry. I'm going to get one more. These are beautiful. And the sacred flow of yes. So for me, this yes energy is again tying to the concepts of needing to get out there, needing to say yes to life, needing to feel empowered to step forward in life, even beyond what you've already done, and to not do it with any sense of guilt or obligation, but purely because it feels good and because it's what you know is best for you. With You Are Living Poetry and the Creator Air, these are both kind of giving me the sensation that there is something to do with your throat chakra, with communication, with expression, self-expression perhaps, that needs to be focused on. So I don't know if there's been difficulty with you being able to connect with people and share verbally your experiences, or you have trouble opening up to people. You maybe used to be a poet or share some type of a spiritual and creative artistic craft, and you haven't been doing much of that lately and would like to get back into that. This is kind of your nod and your go ahead that you should step into that energy. You should step back into that energy of creativity and self-expression, and also getting clear on what you really want in life. So again, for some of you, if there has been someone who's passed on that was what you at one time thought was going to be your life partner, and now you're rebuilding life, they're just wanting you to put some focus, set aside some dedicated time to really consider what it is that you do want out of life. And I think that it's to live, again, more freely with more authenticity, and to, again, kind of restore your place energetically in your life where you once were, which was feeling very supported and held and safe in the company of others and in connecting with others. And again, we saw that there was in that shadow message a little bit of resistance to doing that at this point. And the messages, again, are just kind of urging you and encouraging you to kind of step into that flow of yes and embrace life once again. So pile one, I hope that you've enjoyed this message. I hope that was helpful to you. I've enjoyed providing it for you. And if you have liked this reading and choose to subscribe and stick around, come back again, I would so greatly appreciate it. It means the world to me. Until then, hopefully I will see you in the future, pile one. I hope you take great care. I'm sending you so much loving, abundant energy, and happy October as well. Hello, pile two. I'm so happy to have you here with me today for this mediumistic style reading where we're going to be connecting with a passed on loved one or spirit energy of choice. So if you have no one who's passed away, no worries. You can absolutely just intend this reading to bring forth messages from higher guidance, right? From source, from spirit, from God, whatever belief system you ascribe to, you can call in the energy of that spirit belief and being that you resonate with as your truth, and have them come in with messages for you. But we're starting with, of course, the cover card that you were drawn to, that you chose today, which is Plant Yourself Here, with integration, embodiment, and grounded action being the key themes for this particular energy. So we'll see how this ties into the overall reading. Right away, what's coming through to me is groundedness. So this is about stabilizing. Perhaps this has been something that's been challenging for you after the passing of a loved one, but we'll see what else comes through. Integration and embodiment are also concepts of kind of transmuting pain, turning negative energy into positive, and kind of aligning life a little bit more, and then moving forward in an empowered way. So there's a lot of like beginner's energy. Plant Yourself Here also is about the start, right? The start of a life cycle of something coming into bloom, fruiting and harvesting, and all of those things. It begins with the planting. So you may be at the beginning stages of a grief process, or in dealing with some major aspect or shift in your life, pile two. And this, in that case, would be a wonderful reading for you, where we're going to have some direct spirit energy, channeled messages come through, give you some guidance. We're going to start actually with a general message of love and guidance from the spirit energy of choice that you are looking to connect with. And I have said with each pile, or I'm going to with each pile, with pile one I certainly did, and in the intro, this is a reading that is of course intended for love and light and just pure positive energy, but it is a very triggering and sensitive topic. Please be sure that you're ready to hear these messages before you watch. I mean, trust if you're coming across this reading that you do have messages within, and it is timeless though. So if you're catching it at a time when you don't feel ready to watch, you can always save it and come back at another time. And it's also ready for you whenever you are finding it. I am recording this in the month of October, when we are in a time of deeper connection and focus on spirit energy. However, if you are seeing this later on, trust again that whenever you're finding it, it is the right time that you should be finding it and getting these messages. It is sensitive, it's triggering, but it's beautiful. Clarity is amazing. And it really, pile one was great. It was pretty specific in the direction it started to go. And I intended that also with the 4 piles. I normally do 3. I'm doing 4 today to kind of help that along. So as I also ask all of my viewers, please set your intentions, your personal intentions for this reading, and what you hope to receive out of it, and who you hope to connect with or have messages come through from today. Select a sign as well if you feel called to. I knew that I saw a card flipped over in this deck. Let's see what it is. I'm going to take it. So 7 of Pentacles. That was not a card that even came out in the prior reading, so that's interesting. That's necessary. That's meant for you, pile 2. Let's go ahead and see what else. The message of love and guidance, encouragement, just the general message of love that your spirit energy is wanting to share with you. This is the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. We also have the Sun and the 7 of Cups. So let me just go ahead and make these a little straighter. Ooh, every time, every reading, every video, she has to interrupt. It's kind of just like a trademark at this point. I don't even get upset. It is what it is. She's interrupted so many moments of my life. So Pile 2. We have the sun energy coming out. So first and foremost, this is the energy of just warmth and vitality, of happiness, of joy. You've been very stuck. So when we talked about plant yourself here, the energy of the oracle that came out for you that you chose, the Seven of Pentacles is an energy of longevity, of investment, of things taking a long time to develop. In development, literally. It also has kind of a nod to the concepts of harvesting, sort of planting your harvest and waiting for the fruit to bear. And as a famous saying is always said, the day that you plant the seed is not the day you pick the fruit. So of course, everything takes an incubation period or a period of time. I think what this is actually saying is almost like a very literal message of needing to kind of nourish yourself. The sun is necessary for plants or any wild, plant life and living things to grow and thrive. And what it's saying is, you've planted the seeds, but with the Knight of Pentacles, there's no forward momentum really. Things are not progressing. In fact, everything is kind of stuck and at a standstill and halted. You need to kind of center yourself and focus more on the energy of the sun, which is that energy again of vitality and happiness and joy and positivity, in order to kind of get your spark back. The spark I'm seeing is in the Seven of Cups energy. So it's the energy of dreams, idealism, but also cloudiness or kind of unclear paths forward. Lots of options that you could have and consider, but being unclear on what it is that you need to do. There is a need to get that clarity. They want to share with you. I'm going to get some more information. It feels like there's more that needs to come through. The Two of Cups. They love you so much. This is just such a beautiful energy. Transmute is also coming out. It's a card unique to this deck. So it's, again, we talked about transmutation. So taking something that's negative, turning it into a positive. Perhaps this person's passing or some other life event has deeply impacted you and you've just had a hard time kind of getting the momentum going again. And we have also the Page of Swords. Yeah, this is feeling coldness now. The opposite of sun, which is the warmth energy that we spoke about before. This is coldness. It is withdrawing. This is being distanced or on guard. Specifically when it comes to love. This person loves you a great deal, or this energy just wants to share with you how much love exists, but you don't trust that. You don't trust love from others. You don't trust the world anymore. You're having trouble, again, assimilating yourself, and you're having trouble also seeing where you fit into the world at this point. So again, that's why it's like this energy of investment and something being in progress and building is really not so much in progress as is just kind of at a standstill. The sun here is a radiating message of positivity and encouragement to say that you can recapture your light. There are so many options available to you, Pile 2. There's so many different avenues and paths you can take. All of them are open to you. Each one is as good as the next, is what this energy is saying. And truly, it's just about kind of turning that Knight of Pentacles energy upright so that even though it may be a slow and progressive kind of climb back up, in the healing and in the softening of your boundaries and your resistance. They're very, very hard boundaries and barriers right now. Pile 2. Once you release those, lessen those, lighten those up, allow the sunshine to again kind of radiate and fill your life, you are going to see big changes. You will start to see progress and growth again. And they just want you to again know that you're so loved and supported, and that there really is a grounded foundation here that you can build upon, and you have to not lose sight of that. You have to stay positive and stay focused and not get clouded maybe by all of the things that have been happening for you in life right now. So I want to just get some additional information from the oracle before I get into the actual light message. I think that's where we're going to get more of the loving energy that I was looking for. It went a little different in Pile 1, but for you, this is the main message that they're wanting to have come out for you today. So let's see. We have the sun and we have sunshine. Absolutely. This is about recapturing your light, bringing your light forward. Full bloom. So again, more nods to the concepts of growth and, expanding and harvesting and becoming something amazing through time, visioning. They can see it. Source, of course, can see it. Any passed on energies can see it. They have a perspective, a viewpoint that we don't possess. They have infinite wisdom that we don't possess. We can tap into it. We can, we come from source as well. We're pure source, non-physical energy in a human form at this time, but we have access to all of that same wisdom and insight. And they really just want you to know that this is possible for you, a full bloom or a second bloom, I'm hearing in some cases. And in fact, they are asking me to get another card for you. Second bloom is a card in this oracle deck that I chose these cover cards from, but they're just saying another one of these cards would be helpful. So let's do that. Let's honor that. What do you have to share with pile 2, please? Ooh, okay. All right. Okay. This is almost spooky. The fertile void, inner winter, rest, patience, potency, and secret beginnings. I just spoke about a standstill, and this was the card I was thinking of, the fertile void. So the void is like nothing happening, nothing progressing, nothing growing. It's kind of just in an influx. It's in a state of suspension. It's energy not in motion, when energy truly is always in motion, but it can be cycling over and over the same sort of energy time and time again. This is why inner winter is so important as well. We had that concept of coldness come out with the Page of Swords. Rest and patience, potency, that's needed. Patience is definitely needed with the Seven of Pentacles energy. That's not a fast-moving energy any which way you slice it or spin it. It's going to be slow. But at the same time, if progress is being made, you can be assured that secret beginnings makes me think of like, this is still moving along, albeit very, very slowly, even if it doesn't feel that way. And even though everything is mostly at a standstill, i.e. it's kind of stagnating and cycling through the same energies repetitively, you can, again, get things moving forward once again, pile 2. To achieve that full bloom, you have to envision it. You have to, there's a strong concept tied to the idea of clarity as well, because we have, of course, the Page of Swords, which is going to be a learner, someone unskilled. The pages in traditional, courts were children. They were learning and they were students. And it's swords energy, which relates to the mental body. And then we have the sun, which is like this wonderful embodiment of clarity, awareness, and enlightenment. And so there's definitely a need here to get more clear, get out of this clouded energy. Even though there's lots of options, there's a need to really get clear and focused on the path ahead and to, I guess, see the way forward. Then we also have, I talked about that infinite wisdom, divine plan, wisdom, intelligence within, and destiny, Sophia energy. That may be a significant sign for you, the name Sophia or this rose here. But yeah, this is just being interconnected and woven into the divine plan and having and accessing that infinite wisdom, that intelligence within, knowing it is your destiny. You are divinely deserving, coming from source energy, and you can have a new beginning, pile 2. This is a very solemn pile. I'm feeling a lot of heaviness, but that's okay. Let's go ahead now and get a message of light. A message of light for you, pile 2, from your spirit energy of choice, whatever you've intended to come through. What is the message of light for pile 2, please? We have the Queen of Wands, Temperance. This is beautiful already. Absolutely beautiful. Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Spirit, the Queen of recapturing her light. Fire energy, which also makes me think of the sun. We have Temperance, which is about balancing and alchemy. The Ace of Swords, kind of stepping into and rediscovering your truth, the truth of who you are and what you're here to do. That's what I'm getting. And the Four of Wands, really manifesting that beautiful energy of harmony, joy, a new beginning, the stability and peacefulness that you've been seeking. I really just think it's been difficult for you for a while, and then perhaps, this isn't such a strong energy of someone passing for this pile, quite honestly, but if you have someone that you're hoping to channel through, this is just very much saying that whatever it is that has kind of shooken up your life, it's rattled you quite a bit. It's kind of thrown you off course, but you can absolutely come back into balance. You can alchemize. So again, the concepts of transmutation, integration, embodiment, all of these different concepts and terminology and symbology that represent the same idea of taking two different elements, perhaps the past and the future, merging them and blending them together in the present, taking past pain and negativity with the hope and optimism of the future, and blending them, bridging them, merging them together. I can't even speak. I don't normally have this much trouble when I channel. But really, this is like so much encouragement and so much momentum and inspiration and excitement behind the idea of like rebuilding your life. They know you can recapture that beautiful energy that you possessed previously, pile 2. I do think you were more in a Queen of Wands energy, or you've always had the capability within you. And now it's time to really capture that and claim it for yourself. Let's now kind of venture back into the territory of, a little bit heavier energies. Let's get a shadow message from your person or your energy of choice. What is the shadow message? What do they need to share with pile 2? The King of Pentacles. For some of you, this is a father energy, either the father of your children, your actual father. Is the energy of love coming through. So the King of Pentacles, the Six of Cups, and the Ace of Cups, as well as Temperance. Once again, we now have Temperance from both decks coming out for you. It is a very, very significant energy as a shadow message. This is about your ability to reclaim your power. Again, I got very strong divine masculine energy coming through with the King of Pentacles. So this could be a father figure coming through to speak to you, or it could just be, again, a nod and a call on you to action to reclaim your power and step into that more masculine energy because you don't feel very powerful right now. The Six of Cups. So this is the energy of children. It is the energy of vitality, again, similar to the sun, which is also tied to children. It's about reclaiming that just innocence and that pure, unadulterated, literally, passion for life. Look at and listen and just observe a child and their zest, their excitement, their complete naivety, but just wild abandon that they possess for pursuing life and approaching life, and how they just go at it and they just are happy. It's the energy you need to channel. If there's any sort of baggage also from your childhood, this is definitely something that's coming through. This is about, again, stepping into an energy of newness, of, perhaps replanting or re-beginning, restarting, and achieving that sense of balance and peace that has maybe always eluded you. But Six of Cups with the Ace of Cups is definitely about leaving the past behind or taking from the past, but again, having it pour into this new cup that represents the current energies leading into the future. The Ace of Cups is very much about self-love here and how there's a need to kind of focus in that realm at this time and to rebuild yourself back up. It's going to allow your entire life to expand. This is a really personal message, but it's coming through and I have to say it because, it's relevant. If some of you are disconnected from a father figure in life, like a living person, and that's something that bothers you and that you feel a desire to kind of pursue or to devote energy to, or if you feel like that somehow plays into this piece of self-love or, reconciling the past, definitely pursue it. The message is face that shadow, that inner work, that hole, that blockage that exists within you, because freeing that up and clearing that is going to completely transform your life. That's like really, it's a really, really impactful message, but that had to be shared. Lastly, let's go ahead for you, pile 2, and get some just closing words of wisdom, guidance, whatever needs to be shared. Success in transformation. Again, it's available to you. It's going to happen for you. Oh, we got very, very out of focus. Hopefully it wasn't like that for long. Yeah, out of focus, lack of clarity, cloudedness with that Seven of Cups, and then how it can come back into focus, come into balance, and everything is crystal clear. Those things are never accidents. Those are syncs, and they're important. Creator air, this also came out for pile 1. So this is related to the throat chakra, to communication, self-expression. It's definitely living life through clarity and truth. Gratitude again, so maintaining an attitude, a belief of appreciation and worthiness. And creator fire. So we had the Queen of Wands come out, which is the Queen of Spirit, and now we have fire energy also presenting. So this is about getting clear and then going for it and taking action. There is success in the transformation, and it can happen, and you can step into an energy of feeling empowered and just embracing life again. That's a beautiful, beautiful reading. I love that. I hope that was helpful, pile 2. If you have enjoyed the reading, I would sincerely appreciate you deciding to subscribe. Come back and visit me again, and let's connect over a future reading. Until then, until next time, pile 2, I'm sending you so much loving, abundant energy. I hope you take great care, and I hope you have a happy October as well. Bye-bye. Hey, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. So we are, as I stated in the intro, going to be taking a look at connecting and doing a mediumistic style reading, or mediumshipistic style reading, however you want to say it. We're going to be connecting to spirit energy very directly, getting channeled insights, wisdom, messages of love, guidance, encouragement, whatever needs to come through. And you were specifically drawn to pile 3, which is the grandmothers. So remember your roots, perspective, and trust the weavings. Now, we cannot ignore the obvious that perhaps you chose this pile because you have a grandmother who has passed on, but this also just relates to the idea of rootedness, of our ancestry, of our genealogy. So that may be relevant to you in some other sort of a way, but we're going to see what that may be as we begin the reading. Each pile so far was very, very different. Okay, pile 3. That was a minor interruption, and I lost my train of thought, but we're back, and better that it interrupt us in the beginning before the reading gets started than in the middle later on. So, let's just begin again. The grandmothers, the energy of ancestry, lineage, could actually be an actual grandmother that we're going to be connecting with and having come through today for messages for you. But we're going to see what actually presents out. This is a very sensitive and triggering reading. It is also a collective reading, so it may not resonate for everybody. But chances are, if you come across it, then there is a message somewhere within this reading for you in one of the piles. Also, it is timeless. I'm recording this in the month of October. This is, of course, the month when we are most focused on spirit energy for several reasons, but people have this assumption that it is the time when we're closest to, being able to connect with spirit, when the veil is the thinnest. My personal belief is that we release resistance. We're most receptive to hearing and connecting with the spirit realm. So this is when I have chosen to be inspired to actually create this reading. But if you're catching it at a later time, trust that that's the right time for you. So it is timeless regardless. We are going to start with a general message of love, guidance, encouragement, whatever the spirit energy that you have decided and intended to connect with wants to share with you. And to that point, if I haven't already said it, please go ahead and set your intentions for this reading. As with all readings, make sure that you set the scene for how you want this experience and this reading to go. And also select a sign if you feel called to do so. Or perhaps you already got one. Again, the grandmother's card coming out. And let's go ahead and take a look, pile 3, at what the spirit energy that you would like to connect to and bring forth for this reading, what they have to say to you. First, we have the World coming out. We have the 3 of Swords. Okay. The World is usually a very, very positive card in the tarot. There's lots of energies of threes as well. The Three of Swords, the Empress, and the Six of Pentacles. So the energy is tied to the Empress, which is abundance, creativity, creation, literally. The energies of the World, which is endings, completion. But then we have the Three of Swords, which is in stark contrast to that. The Three of Swords is an energy of heartbreak, of pain, loss, emotional distance. And then this is the Six of Pentacles, which is, for me, actually often a communication card or a card of reciprocity, energetic exchange, connection. So this is an interesting message, and I'm trying to, and I want to feel this out appropriately before I share it with you. There's been a major ending in your life, but it feels like a happy one. It feels like one that you're content and at peace with, because you recognize your own inner Empress power, whether you're a male or female, whatever gender you align with. Regardless of that, the Empress is the embodiment of divine feminine energies. This is the energy of, again, worthiness, of abundance, of self-love, of receptivity, of being in flow with the universe, of being spiritually minded, of being very evolved, ascended, and expanded into a spiritual consciousness that is very aligned with source energy and very in touch with your spiritual self. This is going to allow you to really create an even larger mark on the world, and to, as it's showing, begin to restore or repair some of the damage in your past, perhaps when it comes to love, or perhaps just in general, if you've had a painful past or a lot of experiences that have been difficult for you, challenging and painful. You're stepping into, again, an energy of really strong receptivity, but also of giving, of just wanting this equal, even energetic exchange, of being aligned at a certain vibration with the energy of love. All sixes in tarot kind of route back to the Lovers, which is the energy of unconditional love. And I think this is a very love-focused energy and very love-focused message. So really, this message coming through for me is more so just an acknowledgement, I guess, from the energy you've chosen to connect with, encouraging you and letting you know that you really are on the right track and you're in a great place. Again, you're repairing some damage from the past. You're stepping into Empress energy. You're really about to turn the corner on some big manifestations in your life. And they just, you're acknowledging that. Again, there's awareness, and there's a desire to convey and have you receive this message in for a bit of validation, I guess, of affirmation. Let's get some more information as well. We have the Two of Wands. This could have been tied to a decision that you made. There was definitely just two paths that could have been taken, and the one that was chosen was the one that was an ending. But even though there was maybe some initial pain or sadness over that loss, again, we have the Three of Swords energy now with the Five of Pentacles. They want you to know how much this is going to rebirth your life with this death energy. Death also came out in pile 2. I read it very differently, but the general concept or consensus of what this energy represents is essentially the same. And what it means is that something may be permanently ending, i.e. death, or just some aspect of your life. And yet it also represents the concept of new beginnings and rebirth. And it really does feel like this is a time of rebirthing, where you're remembering where you've come from, remembering your roots, honoring your past, and sort of putting it to rest. It feels like putting it to rest. Again, the world is a happy ending. It's an ending of contentment. It's not sad, even though there may have been sad things there or something not as pleasant or completely positive feeling about it. It feels like you're making it positive, or you're really, again, honoring that place where you've come and where you've been and where you're going. You know, the grandmothers is, again, energy. It says perspective, trust the weavings. It means trust the flow of life, trust the universe at all times. It's always working itself out for you. This is a message, a universal message of guidance that you are on the right track, pile 3. You are actually in a very good place, and you are in the process of, again, stepping into that Empress power, that power of creation, of manifestation, and you are about to align with some really, really big things. So I want to get some more information. Just some additional clarity from the oracle. What else for pile 3, please? Beauty. Heart spirit, I love it. This is seeing the beauty in all experiences, in all of life, opening your heart fully. So this could be related to love, where life is about to really up level for you. And abundance. Definitely the Empress energy coming out once again. You're about to align with loving, abundant energy of just feeling amazing in life, feeling like everything is finally coming together for you, which is incredible. That's a great, great feeling. So I want to now go ahead. I have 2 decks here, and I'm just gonna, so they're 2 completely similar decks. Lucine Tarot. We're going to be using the Twilight edition for our light message, and we're going to use the Midnight edition, which is the darker version, for your shadow messages. And the purpose of this portion of the reading is just to be able to have whatever energies want to present and come forth to share with you very honestly and directly, perhaps areas where you're excelling, like they did here in the general message. There's Alexa again. And then the shadow messages will be perhaps areas that are hidden, that you're not actively acknowledging or seeing, so that they can bring it to your attention and it can be resolved. So what is the light message for pile 3, please? The light message for pile 3. We have the Hierophant. So this is inner wisdom once again, spiritual enlightenment, higher learning. We have the 3 of Pentacles. This is collaboration. Again, another 3 coming out for you as well. So the energy tied to creation and abundance. The Sun, you couldn't get a more beautiful energy. The energy completely of positivity, warmth, the most positive and uplifting card in the entire tarot. And the Ace of Wands. So the message of love for you, pile 3, is really again centered around this Sun energy, which is coming out. Even though the Hierophant is also present here as a major, the Sun is just drawing me in so much. It's like this radiant light that surrounds you and surrounds your life right now. Continue to just grab hold of that and work with that energy, because you're really in a great place right now. With this Ace of Wands, this is the energy also of more firepower. So inspiration and excitement and alignment and just aliveness about life. It's really going to take you great places. There's going to be more opportunity to collaborate and connect with others. I don't know if this is in a work context, but it's certainly in a real world sense, in a material like way, with that being Pentacles energy. And with the Hierophant here, there is a call on you as well to kind of, I guess, continue on your spiritual path of enlightenment that you have set on, where you're learning things, you're kind of connecting with others who are on a similar path to you, you're expanding your knowledge base, your awareness, your spiritual beliefs, and it really is helping you to, I guess, set you up for this new beginning that is coming. But in terms of like loving light messages, there is so much positivity here surrounding your spiritual path and how on track you are for your highest good. To be clear, we're always directed to our true north. We just sometimes take a couple detours, but we're always being gently guided and, brought towards that which is our true desire. But it's just to say that there is very little resistance right now within your path, pile 3, as opposed to some of the other piles I've already done, other readings. And you're on the fast track again to manifestation, to some new beginnings. Ace of Wands. This is a very passionate and inspired, just an active energy of action, of something that is about to happen for you. I want to get a little bit more information because that's just very exciting. The 5 of Cups. The Page of Wands. Okay. And the Page of Cups. Okay, so you have some very some very encouraging, positive messages and communication coming in from someone, maybe somebody apologizing or somebody making right a previous wrong. This also could be the energy of just, again, newness. We have aces and pages, which always for me represent the concept of the beginning of something. Aces are going to represent the beginning energy, while pages are like the start of something involving an individual. So this very well could be a new person entering your life. We saw ties to the concepts of the heart spirit energy, a heart awakening or heart chakra opening. So love kind of maybe definitely coming through and ascending to a higher level. Then we have the Page of Wands and the Page of Cups, which are both energies that could also be related to love. So there's just a lot going on in your life right now that they're wanting to share with you, to be excited for. There's a lot of goodness that you're now reaping based upon what you've sown already in the past and the things you've dealt with and how much growth and personal development that you've engaged in. Trust the weavings keeps coming through to me. Like, just trust the way the path is taking you right now. Let's get some more light message. If there's anybody who's actually had a grandmother or a passed on loved one that wants to come through, what is their message? What is their message of light? Temperance. The Four of Cups. In this deck, I read the Four of Cups as stillness, as balance, as calmness. This is an energy of peacefulness here. Maybe you're needing to know that somebody is at peace. The Tower. Let's get one more. And the Eight of Cups. So if this was a sudden passing, or if it was very traumatic, if there was a lot of pain associated with this loss of this individual, and their departure was quick, they want you to know that there is no suffering, that everything is well. Everything is always at peace and perfect harmony in the non-physical. Queen of Cups. This is your ability to connect with them whenever you desire to. The Queen of Cups is a very divine energy in the tarot, very similar to the High Priestess, one of the most intuitive energies in the deck, and that's your ability to connect directly with Spirit. We also have the Six of Wands. Yeah, this is to say you can have success with that, and you can achieve that. You can master that and have victory over it. If that's something you're seeking, as you've been trying to connect with somebody who's passed on or tried to increase your intuitive abilities, you really can achieve stability and harmony and a sense of success over this energy. It's a secondary message that for some of you, if you've been family planning, wanting to become a mother, because the Queen of Cups is Cancerian energy, which is the mothers of the tarot, nurturers of the zodiac. And we have the Four of Wands, which is the energy of stability, home, family life, harmony, and joy. There is going to be success in that. That's kind of a side message. Whatever, if for those of you that aren't trying to do family planning, or there's nothing to do with children in a family, this is just about a reassurance that you are going to achieve great success in your material realm, but also by way of stability and joy, a foundation of sorts, something you're trying to build right now, or that you're hoping to build in the future, whatever that looks like for you. What is that for the majority of those watching pile 3? Strength. So inner strength, manifestation of desires, alignment, consistent alignment, and a new beginning. You will achieve success with that, pile 3. What is the shadow message for pile 3, please? Now, this is the hidden energies that you may not be focusing on and attending to, that you should be aware of. The Five of Wands was a jumper that came out first. We also have the Eight of Wands. We have the Ten of Wands, all Wands energies coming out. So this is Six of Pentacles. This is about where you devote your effort and focus, pile 3. Where you give your attention to, where you, I guess, direct your energetic output. And it's to say that it doesn't need to be difficult, and you don't need to struggle. And if it feels challenging, or if it's not flowing smoothly, if there's resistance there, if there's barriers there, if something just isn't flowing, if it isn't working, if it's not going, again, smoothly, then that's where you need to shift your focus away, because you are definitely in a mode and in an energy where you can manifest things quite easily. Swiftness with this 8 of Wands energy. The 10 of Wands is the direct opposite. So the 5 and the 10, both in the Wands suit, are about challenges, struggle, resistance, kind of tension. And the 8 of Wands is just ease and flow. So for the most ease in whatever it is that you're devoting energy to, you definitely need to turn your attention and focus towards those things that embody the least resistance, the least amount of resistance for you, and how you're feeling about them, and in the actual approach to them. If they involve other individuals or other aspects of life, go for the things that feel the best and that are the easiest, that don't accompany all of this baggage with them. Stay in your Empress energy, pile 3. Lastly, just some final messages of guidance and wisdom. Let's see what else needs to come through here. What's your honest truth? You are living poetry. That also came out for pile, I believe, 1, maybe pile 2, maybe both. Maybe it's come out in all of them. Creator water. So we've had almost all the creator cards come out. These are cards that just acknowledge the predominant energy that maybe you should be focusing on. And for you, it's this water energy. So the energy of emotion, intuition, again, alignment with source. I love all of the blues and greens kind of coming out here. So that's also tied, look at that, tied to the energy of green being the heart space, blue being the throat chakra, so the communication center, your ability to speak and live your truth honestly and authentically. If there's anybody that you need to convey a message to or to be clear with about something, definitely honor your truth and speak it openly and honestly. You are living poetry. This was a nod in another pile to the concept of, if you do something that's creative, or if you have a creative passion project or pursuit that you're looking to do, this is about open, honest, expressive living, communication, expression in the arts, perhaps, just whatever it is that you're choosing to do in life, you're doing it completely in alignment. And then again, success and transformation. So you're still in the process of transforming, you're still underway, but they have so many things they've had come through today, pile 3, for you, that things are about to shift. You're really about to, ascend even higher. Remember to honor those roots once again. And if there is anyone in spirit that wishes to convey anything to you, it was just how great you're doing, the acknowledgement and the pride and the joy that they have in seeing that, in seeing the successes for you, and in seeing you direct your life and command your life in such a beautiful way. And about the excitement for where you're headed, that you're on the track, on the right track and the right path towards some really beautiful manifestations. So pile 3, I hope that was helpful to you. If you've enjoyed the reading, I would love for you to consider subscribing so that you can come back, stop here again, and visit and connect for another reading in the future. And in the meantime, I am sending you so much beautiful, loving, and abundant energy. I hope you take great care. I also hope you have a happy October. Pile 4, my bonus pile today. Do not typically traditionally do 4 piles, so this is definitely a rarity, and I'm so excited that you guys are here. You are, of course, welcome to your reading, where we are going to be connecting with spirit energy. This is a mediumistic style reading where we are going to be connecting and channeling direct insights from either a passed on loved one or your spiritual energy of choice, maybe your guides, perhaps, whatever belief that you happen to ascribe. Source, spirit, God, whatever the case may be, you intend with this reading whatever spirit energy you like to connect with and get messages. So it's going to be a great reading. I'm so excited. You have chosen, of course, pile 4 and the card, the Reunion, which says soul recognition, collaboration, partnership, and friendships. So right off the bat, I think you were drawn to this energy specifically because of what it stated on the card for a lot of you. But for me, what's coming through very strongly is almost a reunion with self, a return to self for those with this pile. I think you're actually, for most of you, in a very good place in life at this time. And I think that the biggest thing that you're hoping for today. I don't even know if a lot of you have had somebody that you're really deeply wanting to connect with, like a passed on loved one. But what it really comes through strongly as is wanting just recognition and a little bit more of a supportive message from spirit on where you are in your journey and how to go ahead, or if you're on the right track. It's a similar energy to pile 3, but that may be a little bit more evolved and in a different place than this energy here for pile 4. But let's go ahead and see, right, exactly what it's going to end up being. Just because of the nature of this reading, I do have to provide the disclaimer right off that it is very triggering, emotional, and sensitive. So please be sure that you're in the right energy to watch this reading and receive these messages. I also always encourage all of my viewers to set their intentions before a reading so that you can just command how you'd like the energy and the experience to go. This is before my readings or before any reader. It's just good practice to set your intentions before really engaging in anything. And to select a sign as well if you feel called to do so as I shuffle. We are going to be, again, connecting through mediumistic channeling. So I do mediumship. I have done mediumship rarely for clients privately. It's a very energetically intensive act of reading and connecting and channeling. So it's not something I do very often. And I've never actually offered this, I don't believe, in this format, PickaCard on YouTube. So I'm excited. I did this though in like an abridged, shorter sort of a version on another platform I'm a part of, and people seem to really be receptive to it. So as I said also in the intro, in the honor of this month, the month of October, when I am recording this reading, where we are kind of more focused on spirit energy, I just felt like this was a good time. I felt very inspired to come forth with this style and type of reading and just see where it goes. So far, all 3 piles have been incredible and very different, which was my intention, and it's been awesome. So we'll see what happens. Also, keep in mind that this is timeless, and so if you're catching it at a later date, I'm recording it in the month of October. But if you're seeing this, 6 months down the line or whenever the case may be, trust it is coming to you in divine timing when you are meant to be seeing it. So we're going to start. I'm going to be using, as you can probably tell, 2 of the same deck. This is the Lucine Tarot. This is the Twilight edition. Excuse me. It's the light version of the deck. This is the Midnight edition, which is the darker version. I'm going to start mostly with the Lucine Twilight edition. We're going to go ahead and get some general messages of guidance, love, empowerment, encouragement. We'll then go from there, and we're going to start with light messages from your energy of choice, so your passed on loved one or spirit in itself. And then later also get some shadow messages, which are going to represent maybe the hidden energies and the things that you're not focusing on that you need to be aware of. I'm losing my voice, so I've been recording and speaking for quite a while, so I apologize. But again, I don't normally do 4 piles, so let's see what happens. But I am ready to go for you, pile 4. I'm super, super excited. We already have a jumper. We have the Empress. This also came out for pile 3, which is a beautiful energy. The energy tied to creation, to abundance, to manifestation, to divine feminine power. So being very much in your receptive energy, your energy that's connected to emotion, to intuition, to source. It's a very aligned energy. We have the Knight of Cups. The King of Swords. And the 9 of Swords. Very interesting. This message of encouragement and guidance or love. This is the message, the main message that Source would like to convey to you. There's a lot of stress and worry surrounding a particular, we'll say, love interest. It could be other areas of your life, but it's definitely taking you away from your spiritual focus at this time. I really think that the general message here is an understanding that there is a time and space for everything, honoring and accepting the flow of life, and that when things are ready to come around or to present into your life, then they will. Again, so I see the Knight of Cups here as an offer of love, perhaps somebody returning. We have reunion energy, of course, that you chose. But this is to say there's a lot of focus on when that'll happen, a lot of rumination, a lot of stress, a lot of negative energy, which creates, of course, a lower vibration. It takes you away and steps you out of this Empress energy, which is an energy that you often are able to stay in. And it's important to stay aligned with your divine power and the truth of what you're here to do and your soul's expansion, and allow the rest to sort itself out. It's kind of like as you attend to this, and the rest of this kind of resolves itself. Let's get some more information. Eight of Wands. There's just like a need for things to go quickly. You're wanting things to go quickly. Knight of Pentacles, and somebody or something is moving very, very slow into your field of awareness, and you're just not liking it. With the Four of Pentacles here, it's kind of saying the harder and tighter you hang on, the more this cycle can't close, and you can't move forward and beyond this energy to a better state. And really everything could move as quickly as you'd like it to. It's funny because my intention was to do light messages and then shadow messages later, and this is sort of like a shadowy message, but maybe this is going to be a shadowy pile, who knows. But certainly just a need to kind of redirect focus and reground, rebalance yourself. You are an Empress. Regardless of gender, you are a very divine person. You probably are very psychic or very intuitive. You very easily and directly connect with spirit and are often aligned. You know, a pretty spiritually evolved soul, it feels like. So this certainly isn't like your first few lifetimes. But there's something weighing heavily on your mind right now with that King of Swords and the Knight of Swords, or swords coming out together. There is a heavy focus, something mentally very heavy. What is that? The Emperor. So this could be your divine masculine for a lot of you. Somebody that is just something that feels out of your reach and out of your control right now, and you want that control so much. The Nine of Cups, you want what you want. Yeah, your wish fulfillment, your true desires. And we have the Six of Pentacles. It feels like you just want reciprocation and love. You know, the sixes in tarot always route back to the Lovers, which is number 6 in the major arcana, and the concept of unconditional divine spiritual love. And I think that's all you've been wanting. But it's coming. It's coming, pile 4. I think that's important that you know that. Let's get some more information from the Oracle. So letting go. It's time to let go of this current cycle. The Ten of Swords. Time to release. Okay. And we have some more jumpers. We have tears. We have support. So definitely somebody who's not feeling in their power, even though in general you're not in a bad place in life. Most certainly not. And we also have wisdom coming out. You know, you have access to so much support. Oh my goodness, are these beautiful? I'm taking all of them. So you have so much access to this wisdom and support, again, through your own connection and alignment with source, but also just in this beautiful energy that's being presented to you today. And in the 3D, it feels like you have a pretty solid support system. There is a need, though, to release and to let go and to just trust. Again, trust in the workings of life, trust in the makings of what's all taking place for you now. You're really growing and ascending. This is a time for self-preservation, self-reflection, for nurturing and nourishing yourself. It's not really a time for you to be engaged with another, is what I'm getting. You know, you need to seek out your joy in other areas, in other ways. It's not going to be by focusing on things that are not flowing in your life at this time. You are flowing, however, despite feeling like things are not going your way, because you're wanting the control, you're wanting the assurance. You are moving upwards and outwards. Things are expanding for you. And I think it's just important that you see clearly and focus that direction on self and witness the unfolding of all of this beautiful energy that is in the process of developing, because you are growing hugely, pile 4. I want to get some more information. Also, what can you tell us about this person or this situation that pile 4 is very heavily focused on? Can you give us some reassurance about that, please? We have depths, grounding. It's a very deep connection, very, very deep. It goes beyond anything that you thought it did or that you think the other person feels. whatever it is, it's a very emotionally immersive experience, but it's causing you to need to ground before you can truly step into the full appreciation and the acceptance, the receptivity of that abundance that it is tied to. And the way to do that is through intuition. Again, trusting the flow of life and just going with, you know, what calls to your soul right now. Because honestly, what needs to happen is flowing down the river. Riverbanks is a card of flowing and just releasing, surrendering to what is. That's what's going to allow everything to kind of come together in due time, in divine timing, in fact. So now let's go ahead and actually get a message of light. Let's get some encouragement for pile 4, please. What is the message of light that we'd like to have for pile 4, please, from their spirit energy of choice, either a passed on loved one or just in general? So we have the 10 of Cups, happiness, fulfillment. It's also the happy family card. We have the Magician. You are creating this right now. Absolutely. The manifestation is well on its way, pile 4. That momentum's been building for quite a while. You don't think anything's happening because you're in a state of flux at the moment, but really everything is in balance how it needs to be. You have to quiet and calm your mind especially, and kind of reserve your energy for what you're needing to be doing and focusing on. The Page of Swords, you know, this is you still being in a phase of life where you're learning. So even though you've reached Empress energy in a lot of ways, there's some areas where you're still very, you know, the pages represent children traditionally in the courts, what they're based off of for the tarot system. And so they were children, they were learning, they were students, and they were unskilled, they were not knowledgeable, and they were, you know, observers, and they were the people that were trying to figure out how to do the work of the night. So they were the pages, they were the ones, the scribes, that were the students. And the education system back then was very, very different than it is today. But, you know, from what I can tell and gather, it was like the pages were kind of the grunt workers, and they were definitely, you know, lowly on the scale, and they didn't receive any respect either until they reached the knight status. So you may feel as though like you're not respected, or you're not being honored properly, or you're not as far as you hoped you would be. There's a bit of an ego kind of a distinction with that as well. But what's important to note here is that you have really grown exponentially in so many ways that it's okay to still be a student in some other ways, or to not be as skilled and successful and mastered, or, you know, have so much expertise in other areas, because we're all a work in progress, and that's okay. Queen of Wands, though, the Queen of Spirit, you're definitely getting into your power again. The Page of Pentacles, and new offers are coming. You know, this is a new beginning for you, and it is on its way. It's just slow. But I think what was important is that you know that it is coming. The 8 of Cups, again, you're on your way. The journey is underway. The momentum has been building, and there is movement in progress. There definitely is. It's just progressive. It's just deliberate and intentional, yet slow. The High Priestess here for the 8 of Cups. That's, again, a need for an inward journey, and just really, you know, developing an even stronger sense of intuition and spirituality and trust in the divine. A loving message, though, is you really do possess all this power to connect, and you are deeply spiritual, and you know, the message is, you doubt yourself, you doubt your ability, you fall in and out of alignment, you can't consistently hang on to it and sustain it, but you really do, you're very powerful, pile 4. You possess a lot of innate power and spiritual evolution to you that some others maybe don't. Yeah, the Lovers, again, we talked about that. The divine love is coming, the love for self, the spiritual love, just the spiritual essence of unconditional love. Love is the highest vibration of all, and it is coming for you. You can embody it now, though, for yourself and the world. I just feel like that's spirit saying, we think the world of you, you know, and they truly do. They love you so much. They so much want you to manifest all of your desires, but you can't take shortcuts. You know, you have to go through these experiences in order to evolve and to grow and to, you know, become these energies, align with the energies, rather, that allow these things to come in, that manifest them for you. Now let's go ahead and do our shadow message. What is the shadow message for pile 4, please? Whatever pile 4 most needs to be aware of and to know, maybe that they're not seeing or not focusing on. What is the shadow message for pile 4? We have Justice, the Sun. Everything is right. Nothing is wrong. That's what's coming through to me very much. You know, you feel, again, this is the Two of Pentacles coming out once more. The energy of instability and trying to balance. And you know, balance is, of course, a main theme of Justice. But Justice with the Sun to me is kind of illuminating for you that everything is as it should be. Everything is right now. You don't have to feel that anything is wrong. The Three of Cups, you know, your joy and happiness, that sweetness to life is coming. But you can also enjoy a lot of it now in different forms. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. There's a lot of duality to you with all of these twos presenting out, those Two of Pentacles. King of Cups. This is that beautiful, loving energy of a partner that you're seeking. The Knight of Cups, that person is coming. Feels like the person you're thinking of too. Like if there's a specific person, once again, that you're hoping to reunite with, reunion energy, partnership, collaboration, it says, that person is going to return when they're ready to. Yeah, Strength. Right now is not the time, but Strength always ties back to number 8. It's number 8 in tarot, which is the energy of infinity. And something never ending, something very spiritual that's destined and meant to be. This person's meant to be a part of your life. Judgment. I think you both are coming into that truth right now. I think there's also this secondary message coming in. Let me clarify. The World. The Three of Pentacles. And the Tower. So with regard to this other person, you know, with others outside of yourself, this notion of this intense, you know, spirituality, this spiritual connection, just all of what's presenting right now, the energies are very difficult and very, very challenging to shift through. But what it's saying is, you know, the acknowledgement is there, and yet that's being a little bit resisted on another end with someone else. So it could be your person. But at the same time, I do think they're going to integrate it. I do think it's just a time where things are pretty tumultuous for them. It's challenging. Again, it's difficult for them to integrate and to accept and to fully embody so that they can do something about it. But the awareness is there. You need to understand where this person is at, though. They're not in the greatest place at the moment. And a big cycle needs to close out because they're struggling right now before things can move forward with you two. So you both have a lot to work on. You know, whatever the case may be of this connection, is the Spirit is wanting to share that there's definitely a lot to still evolve. There's a lot of moving parts on both sides of the coin before there can be an actual reunion. Let's get some more information, though. Is a reunion really coming with these people, with pile 4 and their person? So these almost wanted to come out reversed, and that just to me feels like your doubt. But it's the Ace of Wands with the 8 of Wands, which says absolutely yes, there's a new beginning coming. And when it comes in, it's sudden and it flows fast. You know, the 3 of Swords and the 6 of Wands. It's overcoming this heartbreak, this loss, this feeling of disconnect, this emotional distance with your person, and everything will feel right. Everything will feel balanced again with this 4 of Pentacles. You're not losing what you feel you're losing, pile 4. You are going to recapture it or reclaim it. But right now, it's definitely the time to focus on self and reclaim yourself. The Knight of Swords, the 5 of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands. Yeah, this has really thrown you off course. You know, again, you're that Empress energy, but you haven't been embodying that as much lately. And this is about, again, pursuing wholeheartedly your inner power. This is the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Spirit, the Queen of Fire, the passion, the aliveness, the desire, the inspiration, the alignment. And stepping out of this 5 of Pentacles energy, because that's not who you are. Oh, is that beautiful? On the bottom of the deck, the Lovers. Love that so, so much. That's great. Final message. Final messages of wisdom and guidance for those watching pile 4, please. Befriend the word polarize. So we already saw a lot of that polarization with those Two of Pentacles energies coming out. And that really is what's going on as well. Feed your artist. So this is about feeding your inner self. The inner artist is the inner creative, the inner empress within you. Sacred mirrors. Okay, so some of you could be in a very divine connection, which we kind of saw with Empress and Emperor coming out. And the edge of evolution feels messy. So this overall collective message to me is this. It's time to focus on self. Focus on your side of the mirror, your side of this connection, because there's a lot going on. There's, again, a lot of moving parts and pieces to this. And you still are a very creative, abundant being that has a lot to develop and bring into this world independently before you connect with your divine counterpart. At the same time, everything feels very chaotic right now and out of balance. Again, with all those Two of Pentacles. Befriend the word polarize and the edge of evolution feels messy. Both share, for me, a message conveyed of needing to be at ease and flowing. Again, we had riverbanks come out as well earlier, with flowing with the way that life is presenting and just being okay with the fact that the energy is all over the place at this time. The edge of evolution feels messy. The edge of evolution. You're on the cusp of it, pile 4. And I really think you are going to get what you want, but it's just going to take a little bit of time and there's a little bit more work to be done. Success and transformation. This has come out in almost every pile today, if not every pile. The success will come after this transformation is done. So pile 4, I so hope that you've enjoyed that reading and that it's helped you today. If you have, I would so appreciate you deciding to subscribe to the channel. Come back again and visit for a future reading. Until next time, I'm sending you so much abundant, positive, loving energy. I hope you take great care and I hope you have a happy rest.